Flosstube. I'm just going to dive right in because honestly, I'm having trouble with the intro and I've taped it zillions of times. Trying to get back into doing this since it's been a while. So we're just going to start with the WIP Parade and then see where it goes from there. So I have 33 WIPs for to start 2025, which honestly, for me, I don't think is too bad. You know, it's manageable. I think I can get that down. All right, so my first WIP is Big Hearted Tiny Town, and that's from Heart and Hand. So I'm sure many of you have seen these tiny towns because they're so cute and they're so fun to stitch. Stitching this on 32 count powder pink splash Lugana. Using the called for Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works floss. I am stitching 2 over 2, so 2 threads over 2 squares. That's usually what I do with 32 count. This hill right here is halfway, so I'm making really good progress on this. And since I don't have really, I think this is my only Valentine stitch. I really do want to get it done this year and get it on display. So that's number 1. Number 2 isn't it's not really technically a Valentine, but it is pink. And since I don't really have a lot of Valentine, actually only one, I just thought I'd clump it in with that. So it is Berry Basket. This is from Primrose Cottage Stitches. This was, not 100% sure. I'll have to look if this is out for sale to everybody because it was part of their Sip and Stitch box. So I'll know everything below so that you can look, and you can always go check out their website too. But here's what I've got. And this one I definitely plan to finish, like with my Valentine stitching. This I'm stitching on, what is this? This is 32 count Graceful Gray. Oh goodness, now I wrote down the wrong one, so I know it's a 32 count. So stitching that 2 over 2. Graceful Gray Lugana, I think. Something like that. But yeah, that won't take long to get finished. Okay, number 3. This is not really, it doesn't really have a season, but I'm gonna put it in with my like spring stitching. Really don't have a lot of spring stitching or summer, so I don't have a picture of this, but this is, if I can get a screenshot, I'll link it or put it there. This is Positivity Lifts from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So very small start. It's a hot air balloon with a lot of, uplifting words. It's very colorful. So this is, I started in the center. I typically don't start in the center with my new starts, but this one, since it's kind of like an odd shape, I thought I'd start in the center so I make sure I have enough room all the way around. So, and I'm stitching this on 25 count white Lugana with the called for DMC, 2 strands of floss over 2 threads. All right, my next one, I have this cute bird. This is from the Mail series, or Airmail by Lindy Stitches. This is the June bird. It's the silver-throated tanager, or tanager. I'm not exactly sure how that's pronounced. But I just started this one for my oldest daughter's birthday in August because she really likes birds. So this reminded me of her, and they're so cute. I would like to do all the Airmail birds, but this is the first one that I'm working on. Let's see, I am stitching this one on Over the Moon Belfast Linen by Color and Cotton. And let's see, it is 32 count. Oh, I thought I had way more. That's okay. So that's all I have so far. I could have sworn I had more, but just the top part of the pillow, or the stitch right here. And because I typically start from the top left and I work across, and I also work down. Just, you know, I let the design, you know, talk to me and dictate on which way I stitch. So I'd like to get that done, you know, by her birthday in August, so then maybe I could start another male bird series. Not a male bird, like, you know, female male, but a male bird. You know what I mean. So anyway, all right, this is You Are My Sunshine. This is by It's So Emma with Fat Quarter Shop. This was not last year, but the year before, 2023. It was a Stitch Quarterly. That's right. And I liked the colors. And the fabric is really neat because it's a printed fabric. It's not a dyed fabric. So the pattern was printed. So it's just kind of like a picture that sits on top of the fabric instead of, you know, fabric that's dyed, you know, so that the back and the front are the same. So it's printed on the front. So this one actually is a pretty fun little stitch, and it's one of my very few stitches I have left that is a 14 count, because when I got back into cross stitching, let's see, in 2022, I got back to stitching. I started with Aida because that was what I was more comfortable with, and before I learned about all the different counts and, you know, linen versus Aida, the flosses. So I stuck with what I was most comfortable with. And since then, I've gravitated more towards higher linen counts, but I do still have a few stitches that I enjoy and that I would really like to finish. So I still really would like to get that one done. And that one shouldn't be too hard this summer if I can focus on getting it done. This is one that I started more recently. This was one that I started for my youngest daughter's birthday in July. And this is Mermaid Terrarium. This is by Tiny Modernist. And because she's very into mermaids and princesses and stuff. So this just, it looks like Abigail. Let's see, I started, what did I start with this one? I think this is the bottom. So I think I started in the center with this one also because of my fabric is kind of, the cut that I got is just the right amount. So I decided to start in the center. That way I would have enough room for my borders. But this fabric is so pretty. It is 32 count Nessie Belfast Linen by Picture This Plus. So I've got a little start on that. Definitely have more work to do on that one. And that one I'm using all the called for DMC. Since it's 32 count, I am doing 2/2. This one I started on my anniversary this past year, which was April. And I really am enjoying starting things on to mark like occasions. And then my goal is to try and get it done before the next, like the anniversary of the next year or the birthday. And that way I can get something accomplished, but then also be able to feel comfortable to start something new. So this one I started for my anniversary because I loved the colors and just everything about it. But you guys have probably seen this. Many people have stitched it. It's Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. This is the first Teresa Kogut I've done. And I'm really enjoying it, and I really need to get back to it because I've kind of been stitching really seasonally this whole fall with autumn and into Halloween and then Christmas, that I've really put like a lot of my other stitching on the side. So I'm working this next year at incorporating a lot of those everyday kind of stitches into my normal rotation so that I can get some of them done. They don't get so lost. Let's see, I am stitching this on 40 count Grandpa's Sleeve by XJU Designs. I've heard of people calling it two different ways, pronouncing it XJU, and I've heard XJU, so I'm not exactly sure what the correct pronunciation is, but here's what I have started. This one I started at the top left corner. It is 40 count, and so I am doing one thread, floss, one thread, yeah, over two. So, but it is very pretty and very enjoyable, and I can't wait to get it done because I do want to put this in my living room. But as you can see, I've got quite a bit of work to do, so I really need to get going if I want to get this done by April, which is, you know, the way this year has flown. I mean, April is going to be here in no time, unfortunately. So that, I lost count. I'm not even gonna count. We're just gonna. Next is Far Better Things by Sweet Wing Studio, and I wanted to stitch this one when I saw it. I love the phrase, "There are far better things ahead than any we leave behind" by C.S. Lewis. I don't know. I just really liked that sentiment. And I actually, let's see, here's what I've got. So this almost, probably about down here. Oops, let me see if I can. So that's as wide as it is. And then just down here is about as tall. So, and it's so pretty. It is a lot of stitching, and all of these like confettis and all these flowers, there's quite a bit of color change, but it is really pretty stitch, and it is really enjoyable. So that'll be really nice when that gets done. And I'm stitching that on 32 count light taupe Lugana. I believe I'm using all the called for. There's some Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at all these ones that I haven't worked on in so long because I've just been doing Halloween and Christmas, and I miss them and need to get back to them. So I'm putting things away as I do them so that I don't end up with a gigantic mess of not knowing where things belong. All right, the next one I have is Cross Stitcher by Stitching with the Housewives. I started this one at Chantal's Pep Rally Retreat this year in Michigan. This was my retreat start, which was the first retreat I had ever been to. In fact, wearing the sweatshirt, and I had a blast, and I am registered to go again next September. So, but I started this at the retreat, and I actually haven't picked it up since then, but I really would like to get it done because I don't have anything really in my craft room that, anything that's fully completed. So that's part of like one of my goals this year is to get more of my pieces that I want to display in my craft room. So that way I can, you know, look at some of the things that I've done and not feel like I haven't accomplished anything because it's all sitting unfinished in a box. But I am stitching that with the called for colors on 28 count white Monaco. So not my normal material or fabric that I, usually go towards, but it's white, and I would like the model stitch that, so I wanted to stay with that. Alrighty, next one I have is the Remember Me sampler. And so this is by Hello from Liz Matthews. So you can either stitch it as a sampler or you can stitch it into a tree. And I've decided with this one, I'm going to do the sampler because I'm doing her 12 Days of Christmas into trees. So, but anyway, here's my progress. This, I believe I might be already, like, this is the bottom, so it'll turn. So it's not very big, but it is quite a bit of stitching. I'm stitching this on 32 count vintage country mocha. And I can't remember what floss I'm using. I think it's primarily called 4DMC. So that's that one. Next one I have is Autumn Quilt by Primrose Cottage. And I don't know why I didn't focus on this one this autumn, but that's okay. Very, a simple two colors, very pretty. And with the variegation in the floss, it's so pretty. So here's what I have. So I'm gonna make this a goal to get it done this fall. Stitching this on 28 count light taupe Lugana. Two strands of floss over 2 squares. One I have is the Bee Queen from Tiny Modernist. This one I loved from the first time I saw it, and I would put it in my cart and take it out, put it in, take it out. And finally I put it in, and this was it wasn't my birthday start. It was around my birthday because I have another one that I think is my birthday start. I could have had 2 birthday starts, but this is what I have. It's so pretty. And this really took quite a lot of brain power and counting, because there are so many changes of floss color, and it took some brains. So there was a lot of frogging, but it's going to be so pretty when it's done. And I'm stitching that on, what is this? 28 count mushroom Lugana, 2 threads over 2 squares. So all these things I need to get back to. Okay, next. This one also is one that I haven't stitched in a while and want to get back to. This is from Blue Flower, the Blue Flower. This is In Praise of Pollinators. So pretty. Look at all those insects and birds, and so neat, those animals. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Stormy Night Linen from Zweigart. And as you can see, so this one I started top left again. It is 40 count, so I'm doing 1 strand of floss over 2 squares. And if you've noticed, I typically, this is a gigantic piece, bigger than what I need. I typically don't cut my fabric down for pieces. I will just start up here at that corner, and I'll leave usually about 2 to 3 inches on either side. And then when I'm done with my piece, I'll trim it down and then put it back in my stash. The only time I cut it down is if I know that I want to use that material for something else, and then I'll I'll cut off a piece, that way I can use it. And if I do, you know, want to use it for something else, I can always do that. But until I have something to use, you know, something else to use it for, I'll just leave it whole. And I don't have to worry about, like, you know, serging the edges or fraying or anything like that. So, all right, the next one I have, let me flip my sheet here. I have Happy Easter. This is by Shannon Christine. This was like one of the first ones I stitched when I got back into it. And I really should have this one done because it's so teeny, but I will get it done this year. And I've got thread hanging. Look, the cute little bunny. I don't have any, like, I don't really have a whole lot of Easter designs or stuff, you know, decorations or, but I don't know, he's, or she is super cute. Stitching it on 28 count mushroom Lugana 2/2. So that's a definite finish this year. This one is also from Shannon Christine. This is Hello Spring, and she has, you know, the other seasons like autumn or winter, autumn, summer. This is the only one that I've done so far, and it's also the one of my only 14 count Ada stitches, but I still really love it. It's so pretty with all of those different colored flosses. It's all DMC, but you know, the different colors that she uses, just there's so much variegation in it and movement, and it's really pretty. And I know that I'll really enjoy it when it's done. So that's going to be worked on soon. And that one I'm stitching on 14 count parchment by Fiber on a Whim. All right. Now we're kind of getting into like fall, Halloween, Christmas, because Halloween and Christmas are the two like holidays. The autumn is, you know, the most stitches I have, or the most items that I have, is like all in that season, you know, those months. So I have like half of my WIPs are just, you know, autumn, Halloween, Christmas. So all right, so this is Leaves of Autumn from Primrose Cottage. And I was really trying to get this done this year, but then I got distracted with Halloween. So, and then I got distracted with Christmas. So, but this one, okay, here's what I have. So pretty, a little house and all those pretty leaves. And I love little bird. So this one should finish pretty quickly this year. I'm stitching this on 32 count light taupe and 2 strands over 2. And I'm using all the called for floss, which is all color and cotton. That's probably the only piece I have right now that I'm strictly like using all color and cotton. I don't have a whole lot of color and cotton. I do really enjoy them. I just don't have a whole lot. My next one, now this was my birthday start. This is Autumn Bee by the Blue Flower. And this is another one that I haven't stitched in a while. This is what I have. Really enjoying this one. Got to get it done before my birthday. Stitching this on a color and cotton 32 count, I believe. But I did not keep the color like card, because usually color and cotton, they'll have a little card that's attached to it to tell you, and I didn't keep it. So I honestly am not sure what color this is, but I'm really enjoying how those colors just pop off of that pink. And yeah, super excited about that one and need to get back to it. I know that oh, another thing, Dinky Dyes. This is the first time I've used Dinky Dye floss. Oh my gosh. It's so like soft. It's, and they're so smooth and like nice to work with. If I could, well, you know, I won't say if I could stitch everything in silk, I would, because I really like the different, you know, floss depending on what project it is. But man, I mean, if I could stitch more with silk, I wouldn't complain, you know. But anyway, just take a, you know, rub your hands over your piece when you're stitching. It's so soft. This was, I don't have a picture, so I'll have to insert a picture here of this because I don't have one. But this was a stitch along from Fat Quarter Shop 2023 for their Halloween. It was the mystery stitch along. And this one, I made a lot of progress this year, but I got bored and wanted to change it up. Stitching this on 14 count pistachio by Fiber on a Whim. This material is so soft. Using the called for floss. I think it's mostly Classic Colorworks. 2/2. This one is going to take a while. This is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Let me see if I can point that in the right direction. Yeah, this one's a doozy. It's going to take quite a while. I'll show you what I have so far. And I am stitching this on, oh, what am I stitching on? 40 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. There's my little start. Top left started in this first box here. But oh, here's a better look at that one. It's gonna look so cool when it's done. But I do not have a goal for this one at the moment because it's just so big and there's so many stitches. I honestly, I don't know that I even picked it up during Halloween. I started it during, September? Was it September? No. I decided to stitch Halloween over the summer, and so that's when I started it. I was just in the mood to stitch Halloween. But I haven't picked it up since. This is Halloween by The Drawn Thread. And this is probably one of the very few kits that I've purchased that, you know, came complete with the floss and the linen or the, you know, material, the pattern. But it was one of those ones that I saw and I was like, oh, I really want to stitch that. And these are with Dinky Dyes as well. So, oh, I'm sorry, not Dinky Dyes. I think there's actually some Dinky Dyes and there's some Dinky Dyes and there's some needlepoint silk as well. So, started at the top left again. One floss over one floss over one square. This was oh, what am I stitching this on? 32 count dirty Belfast linen. Oh, sorry. So another one that's going to look so cool when it's done. And so soft. Okay. There's probably some rule about not touching your floss because, you know, leave behind oils and stuff. But, I mean, you got to enjoy it, right? Okay. Ooh, let's leave that there. Okie dokie. Number, don't know. This is Silver Creek Samplers Flying Lessons. This I started, it was a stitch along hosted by Nicole Spohr, not last year, the year before, I think. Still working on it. It'll get done. Oh, I thought I had more done. That's okay. All right. This is on 32 count Jazz Belfast linen. I am using a different material than the called for, a different colorway, because as you can see, this one has more greens in it. But I'm using the more the purple route because I do really enjoy purple. All right, that one. Next, I have Halloween Quaker. This is kind of in line with the Hawk Run Hollow. I'm not sure when this one will get done, but it's okay because it's ginormous. This is Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. I think this is the only Quaker I have. So I am stitching this on 40 count Murky Newcastle linen by Picture This Plus. Oh, now I remember. Okay, so I started, you know, top left. Nope, top left. There we go. This one is so enjoyable to stitch. Like, I kept wanting to go and just, you know, start another spot and another spot. So I know that once I sit down and actually, you know, work on this, I can get quite a bit done. But I know it doesn't look like that, but you know, I'll just work on it again this year, this next Halloween. This is by Primrose Cottage. This is another one that I'm going to have to insert a picture because I only have a working copy. I'm stitching this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. And this is what I have so far. Not too much on this one either, but still really enjoying it. Still really want to get it done. This is one of the very few monochromatic pieces I've done. So it's kind of weird to, you know, only stitch with one color. I mean, you don't have to stitch with one color. You could change it up. But it is kind of nice to just, you know, have one floss and you just keep going because you don't have to stop and change out colors. And oh, let me get this one out. Okay, next one is When Pumpkins Glow. This is by With Thy Needle and Thread. And very small start on this one also. There's, yep, I thought I got more done on this one too. That's okay. This is on 40 count, not sure. Honestly, I forgot to write it down, but using one strand of floss over one square, right? Two. One strand of floss over two. So a lot of work to do on that one. Okay, so now we're doing Christmas. And this is We Santa 2023 by Heart and Hand. I haven't even gotten the 2024 yet. I feel like I can't get the 2024 until I finish 2023. But I'm stitching this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. So started, you know, top left. So I believe I've gotten that flower almost completely done. And then this is the start of Santa's face. It's his beard. So, yep. Still got a ways to go on that one too. Next one. Oh, this is one that I was hoping to finish one of the rows. So this is Welcome to the North Pole. This is by Primrose Cottage. So I was trying to, each one of these bands, I have the first 2 done, and I was really trying to get this 3rd one done this year, but it hasn't happened yet. And Christmas is over, so I'm stitching this on 28 count light taupe. And here's what I have. So it's going to be big. I'm going to stitch it like it's called for with the called for floss. I'm going to stitch all the bands. I really honestly don't have a whole lot on that 3rd band to do. The white, there's a lot of white stitching. So that's kind of, you know, taken me a bit, but yeah, it'll be so cool when this one's done. And so I went ahead and I purchased the button pack, because you can either stitch the little motifs or you can use a button instead. So, and I won't put those on until I'm completely done with it. All right. Getting to the end. All right, so I've got, ooh, this one's cute. Abominable Bundle. This is from Plum Street Samplers. So, and if you can see, there's 3 Yetis. There's 1, 2, 3, like a family. My daughter, my oldest, since she was a toddler, has been scared of Yetis. She's not scared of them anymore because she's 16, but it's always something that's been a part of our family. So with this one, I'm going to just stitch the one here, and then I'll fill these areas just in with trees. I had wanted to get this one done for Christmas, but it didn't happen, and that's okay. Here's my progress on it. Started the Yeti, got some trees. Stitching this on 32 count Winter Wren linen by Fox and Rabbit. So yeah, I think that'll be super cute, and just, you know, a fun little memento that she can have. One. This is Deer Mug by Shannon Christine. This copy, it's actually printed double-sided, so my working copy is on the back. So if it looks kind of weird, that's why. This one was a 12-part series, and I didn't print off all 12, and I discovered that you only have a month to print them. And so I went to go print some of them, the ones that I hadn't got to print yet, and I wasn't able to, and that was kind of a bummer. But I do have a few, and I have decided. So this is what I have. It's getting there. Let me see, what am I stitching this on? This is on 32 count Whisper Lugana, and I think what I'm going to do, so like this, all 12 of them, you can like put them together, you know, like 3 and 4, you know, and stitch them all together in one piece. But I think I know, because this is one of the few times where I actually cut my linen down, because I know what I want to do with it is I'm going to just stitch this mug part with the little greenery, this little plate down here. I'm probably going to stitch some of these snowflakes around here, but I'm not going to stitch all this other stuff, and I'm going to turn it into an ornament. So that's my plan for that. Okay. Oh, this is my first day of Christmas tree. This was Hello from Liz Matthews. So that, you know, like I said, in with the last one, you can do the sampler, you can do the tree, and I'm going to do the tree. She uses a different count, like different floss colors. It varies between the two and the fabric, but I had started stitching on the wrong, like I started stitching the sampler, but then I decided to do the tree and I didn't want to change. So I'm just doing the color. I'm working it, adjusting things so that I can just use the fabric that I have. This is what I have so far. Not a whole lot. Not even sure where I started on this one. I think this might be the center. Not sure though, but I'm using all the called for NPI silks. So I'm going to really have to do some work if I'm going to do all 12 trees, because that's the first one and can't call it a tree yet. All right, next one is another tiny town. So this is Christmas Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. And I'm stitching this on Vintage Country Mocha. This is 32 count. So cute. I had started, so am I stitching? Oh, okay. So now I know what I did. So down here I had started because it is 32 count, and I typically stitch 2 strands of floss on 32. Well, down here I tried 1 strand because a lot of people do, stitch with 1. So I was like, well, let me try it out. And I didn't really like it. It wasn't quite the coverage that I wanted. So I just, went up a ways and restarted it, stitching 2 strands of floss over 2. And I really like the bold and the more coverage that it has. So let's see, not quite halfway. Halfway is about right here. So, but yeah, those tiny towns are really, really fun to stitch. And I want to stitch all of them, but I got to finish the ones that I have first. All right. I have Snowy Owl by Bent Creek. That's my next one. And I really liked this one. From the first time I saw it, I thought it was so cute. And like I said, my oldest, she loves owls. So I thought of her with this one. And this I bought as a kit, and I didn't realize it when before I purchased it, that it's stitched on 20 count linen, and it uses pearl cotton, which is a lot thicker than regular DMC. It's a 6 ply, so that was it's a different to stitch on and with. So I went ahead and started in the center since I wasn't exactly sure. This is new to me. I've never stitched on 20 count, never stitched with this. So it's like, well, I better just start in the center so that I have enough room. Okay. Let me see. I think I only have 2 more whips left. So this is Home for the Holidays. This one is not available yet to everybody. It was part of Chantal's 141 ornament box. Every year, for the past couple of years, she's done an ornament box with different shaped ornaments. And typically in the past, she's done, 10 shapes. Well, this year she did 5 ornaments with 5 patterns from different designers. And this one was from Hands On Design. So let's see. This one's getting pretty close. I'm about halfway. And this will be a really cute little ornament. And I don't really have a whole lot of ornaments. Stitching this on 32 count platinum, Lugana, 2/2. So, all right, one more is the one that I'm have been working on for quite a few days. I've been monogamously stitching on it because I really want to get it done. This is, and I don't remember where my copy went. I'll have to insert a picture. But this is Snow Magical. This is from With Thy Needle and Thread. Can't remember what I'm stitching on. I believe it's the called for floss, the called for thread, or material, linen. But it is 40 count, I know, because I am using one strand of floss. And I think my favorite part is the sweater. It's so pretty, and the variegation and just the delicate little like one, you know, strand over 2 blocks. It just, I don't know, it makes it look so delicate and pretty, and I don't know. I think that's my favorite part of this one, but it's getting so close. That white's, it's a lot of white, but I've just been enjoying stitching it, and I just have, you know, haven't changed, because if you're enjoying it, then just keep going. All right. Oh no. I just found a bundle of floss, and I'm not sure if it came from this one or not. I think it did. Okay. So anyway, those are my WIPs, 33. Not too shabby. I do have also about 25 projects that are kitted, ready to go if I do want to start. I'm really going to try and hold myself accountable to not start anything unless I have something completed, or unless it's a special day. So we'll see. I'm also I'm going to be showing more of my quilting and sewing, you know, things that I'm working on. I do want to start something new for the New Year's. I know everybody has different plans. I do have to work New Year's Eve, so I know some of Flosstubers that I've watched, they're doing the 12 by 12, which you do, you know, you can do it in different ways, but you pretty much stitch for 12 hours up until New Year's Eve. But I'll be working all day tomorrow, so I won't get to stitch until New Year's. I do have Wednesday off, but I have decided I'm going to start, sorry, it's in the plastic still, Winter Moon by Plum Street Samplers, because I just really want to stitch that one. It's so pretty. Look at the bunny sitting on that house. So this will be the first like big house that I've stitched. So I know, it's so pretty. I am stitching this on, I happen to have the 36 count salt bush in my stash. So this is the fabric that I'm going to use. I do already have some of the over-dyed floss in my stash, but for the most part, I'm just going to use DMC because I don't have the time to get the other floss right now. So that one I'm going to start. So technically, after the first of the year, I'll have 34 WIPs. I've got plenty of things to start, you know, in the background. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Next video, I plan on talking about more of my plans for the year. But I'm going to end it here. And thank you so much for joining me. Hope, you know, you come back and see more. I'm really going to focus on making this a priority for myself, so that I can, you know, get this filmed and get to talk with all you wonderful people and get to, you know, share this wonderful hobby and all the other hobbies, because there's so many wonderful hobbies. And but yeah, anyways, I'll quit rambling, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful New Year's Day, and I will see you next time. Bye. Yeah, that'll work. Okay.